My name's Anthony Cummins and welcome to this video. I'm a historical researcher and author, and today we're going to be carrying on with Hattori Hanzo's Shinobi no Jutsu. Now, what we're dealing with today is getting down from a height with a rope. It's quite simple, but shinobi, if you want to imagine the shinobi, you've got to imagine probably with the larger pants on, closed at the bottom, and then you've got to imagine with their kimonos on, possibly their tasque tied up here, to keep their sleeves back. They've possibly got chainmail underneath. They may have armour, but probably doubtful, depending on what they're doing. If they're doing this type of thing, they probably won't have armour on. And they're going to have headband on, and they may have magical talismans on them, but they'll have knives on them, they'll have rope on them, they'll have saws on them, and of course they'll have their katana or tachi on them. And probably, as I said, a machete or knife. But the important bit here is the rope. They have a length of rope, and they may have different lengths of ropes between them. So say you've got like a 30 or 40 foot rope and there's a team of 10 shinobi. You could have like 300 to 400 feet of rope there with 10 shinobi. And say, remember, you guys as shinobi are like the cream of the crop of commando special forces stuff. So you might need to get up, literally climb up a mountain face or a hard face and get into somewhere, and then attach the rope, drop it down, and when you come back you've got to get down that. Or you might be going across somewhere, you've come across some sort of canyon or deep ravine and you're like, oh, it's going to take us 4 days to go around it, or it's going to take us, we're going to lose too much time. Right, rope off everyone, rope off, tie it off together and let's go. And you've got to descend on rope. Now, which sounds quite simple, but if you've ever stood next to the edge of a cliff or a ravine and just thought of using a rope to get down it without abseiling equipment, you are like, oh my word. Now, the Gunpo Gyoshu, which is in a book called The Secrets of the Shinobi, uses this, and this is in its shinobi section. For getting down from big cliffs, they will make a wicker basket and they will tie rope to it and lower people down. Yeah, that is part of Shinobi no Jutsu. So even understanding how to weave a basket is part of your ninja training if you are following my instructions in the historical ninjutsu. So get used to this type of thing. Get used to thinking outside of the idea of shuriken and ninjas and all that, and start thinking of like even wicker weaving is what you need to carry out your ninjutsu. And these are skills that obviously people in medieval times actually had, or would be more accessible, or it would be more accessible to them. The Shinobi Hiden also talks about doing this from a castle. So what I find extremely interesting, and it's from another lesson, is that you bore a hole with the drill. The drill, everybody thinks is really boring shinobi manuals, but if you bore a hole through it, you then have to feed the rope out and probably put a knot on the end, and the rope drops down the moat and the knot's rammed up behind the wall, and then you've got to descend on this single line. So you have to remember, guys, even if it's just a rope, it gives you a great understanding of how the ninja were actually using the equipment they had and how they were moving together as teams. Okay guys, I've got a question for you lot. I once heard the term single rope technique, meaning you take a single rope and you climb with it, you move with it, you do different things with it. Are there any single rope techniques or information on descending without abseiling equipment, using another rope, using any sort of mock harness? What could you do as a medieval shinobi with the equipment they had to make it safer to descend from a height? Please put the information below and I'll look forward to reading your comments.